This is a sports catastrophe production.
Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Carter Diamond with me to another sports catastrophe on this day. And on this day, May the 1st, was one of the best moments ever. Everyone says about May Day and the fact that, Rick Jeanneret's call. But because Brad May scored the goal in 1993. However, that was not on May the 1st. I should know because May 1st was when Doug Gilmour did that double overtime wraparound goal in game one of the division finals against the Phillies. I was thinking about doing the 2014 Sharks choking on this day, a 3-0 series lead, and getting the Kings to the 2014 Stanley Cup final. However, because I tend to try to prevent myself from doing moments from the same sport on back-to-back days as much as I can, and the fact is I actually double-checked and see maybe there was something else I was missing from that. And I could always do a 3-0 thing about the 2010 Bruins and all that against the Flyers. But anyhow, thankfully, I went through my research and I found out that there were two great baseball moments that happened on this day, May 1st, 1991. Earlier in the day, around 4 o'clock Eastern Time, or 1 Pacific, the Yankees and the A's were fighting each other in 1991. The Yankees were not the Yankees of dominance. They basically were a team that were struggling hard. The Yankees would have the number one pick in the 91 MLB draft. That would be a bust, as Brian Taylor would be okay with his strikeouts. However, his temper got the best of him in a fist fight and basically ruined his shoulder and ended his career. But anyway, the Yankees were playing the Oakland Athletics, who were basically one of the best teams in the AL West and all that, and basically a perennial World Series team. All that. They just came off 3 straight World Series appearances, 88 losing to the Dodgers, 89 beating the Giants, and 90 being beaten by the Cincinnati Reds. Ironically, all 3 of those finalists came from the NL West. The NL East just had nothing in the tank. And all that. There would be no NL East team to get to the final till 93 with the Phillies. Atlanta did in 91. However, Atlanta was in the NL West at the time, and 92 was the Braves as well. So, yeah, it's weird how you put the Cubs in the East and the Braves in the West. But anyway, 94 with the 6 division format, it settled things, I think. Should that. Anyhow, so the A's were facing the Yankees. But what's more important is Rickey Henderson, who was this prolific base stealer, basically just needed one more stolen base to beat Lou Brock's immortal record. Lou Brock was a great base stealer for the St. Louis Cardinals and all that. So Rickey stole third base, which is unusual because usually when you steal base, you steal second. So he got to third base and stole the ball. Rickey, of course, is known for being very self-centered and all that, and referring to himself in the third person. But anyway, Rickey said in his acceptance speech after getting the stolen base record, Lou Brock was the symbol for base stealing, but today I am the greatest of all time. Thank you. What a prick. Oakland did not win the AL West that year. That was Minnesota, who shocked everyone by going from worst to first. And also beating the Atlanta Braves to win the World Series in 7 games, and one of the most classic World Series of all time. I believe, in my mind, it's the second best World Series of all time behind 1975. The 2016 World Series would be number 3 because, the 3-1 comeback, the Cubs and the Indians, the 2 longest droughts in World Series history. Wow, amazing. And then came the next. And then later on at night at 8:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Central, the Blue Jays would play the Texas Rangers in Texas at Arlington Stadium, not the ballpark in Arlington. You know, that stadium that had that center field thing that after Texas Ranger hit a home run, that girls would run around with Texas flags and circle around, all that. But no, Arlington Stadium, known for its Texas-sized scoreboard and all that. It's kind of a decent stadium if you look at it. And Arlington Stadium was the site of the 1984 perfect game thrown by Mike Witt on the final day of the season. No, he played for the Angels, not the Rangers. But anyhow, I digress. Nolan Ryan was pitching on the mound. He was in his twilight. He pitched for the Miracle Mets in '69. People forget about that. Got traded to California in 1971. the California Angels, left for free agency to Houston, his hometown, and then Houston didn't want him, so he went to Texas to play for the Texas Rangers under the guise of one George W. Bush, who was the owner of the Texas Rangers at the time, and also lamented the fact he traded Sammy Sosa from Texas to the Chicago White Sox. Nah, who knew? Anyway, so this game would be live telecast on Canadian TV on CTV because normally you see a couple of Blue Jay games a week on CTV. And the Blue Jays would take on Texas. Don Chevrier, who's a national treasure, was on the mic. And basically, a lot of the classic sports networks down south in the U.S. use Don Chevrier's call as the thing. But Nolan Ryan had 6 no-hitters. He was getting in the twilight of his career. Basically, it was near the end of it. He somehow got a no-hitter the previous year in Oakland. But, he was tiring and all that. It was a hot heat, triple digits on the field. Well, of course, this is Fahrenheit, not Celsius. If Celsius, they would really be in trouble. Anyhow, so Nolan Ryan basically was on fire somehow against a young Blue Jays team that basically looked pretty good and all that. Needed a few key pieces, but they were good. So Nolan Ryan, for some reason, got a lot of strikeouts. And the last guy to break up his potential no-hitter was Roberto Alomar, who ironically was the son of a former teammate of Nolan Ryan, Sandy Alomar Sr., when he played for the Angels. As both Roberto and Sandy Jr. would be in the Angels clubhouse at times. Now, of course, this video is being recorded the day after Roberto Alomar got dumped off by MLB for being a consultant. He was a consultant for MLB and the Blue Jays, but because of the sexual allegation and all that, he's been dumped off. MLB has put him on the ineligible list, meaning he can't have anything to do with any major league club. And the Blue Jays will take down his number 12 from the level of excellence and his banner, or Hall of Fame banner. Now, the Hall of Fame will not dump Roberto Alomar because at the time, in 2011, when he got in, he was a clean candidate. So basically, this was after the Hall of Fame. He was being a prick. So anyway, regardless, Alomar was up, and Nolan Ryan struck him out. It was amazing. Nolan Ryan just got his 7th and final no-hitter against the Toronto Blue Jays, a young bunch of Bucks who were basically win the AL East and shockingly lose to Minnesota in the ALCS. But anyway, yeah, Nolan Ryan shocked everyone. It was amazing. Ricky Henderson had his moment, and then Nolan Ryan swiped it from underneath his nose. And, Oakland and Texas play in the same division, so, Well, people like Nolan Ryan more than Ricky Henderson. I guess it was probably just desserts. But, it's rare to have 2 baseball feats happen on the same day. It's, weird. So anyway, that's all I got for May the 1st, 1991. One of the best days in history. 30 years ago. Believe it. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adu.